My name is Jackie Kelly. I'm a school nurse in the Centerville Community School District. John was wanting me to speak with you a little bit about some of the things that we did in our program at school. And one thing in our county, we're Appanoose County, we have 3 different school districts here. And each school district set up the Live Healthy Iowa program. The kids challenge a little bit differently, so that's what made it interesting. 2 of our districts are smaller districts with a few hundred students and are housed primarily in one building. And both of those districts did most of the challenge as far as recording their activity and their diet, nutrition aspects. They did that primarily through PE class. And then in our particular district in Centerville, we have 8 buildings, and that was a little more of a challenge, I guess, in trying to determine how we were going to do it from building to building. And so for the most part, our younger students, the K-3s, they were in 5 different buildings. And then we have a middle school, a junior high, and a high school. And so each building did things a little bit differently depending upon the maturity of the student. And what was very important is working closely with the classroom teachers and actually being able to go in. It was in January, they had a workshop day, and so I was able to go in and speak with all of the teachers at one time. We went online together, we had laptops there, and we got everyone's classroom teams registered at that particular point in time. And I think that was one of the things that made it successful, in the fact that I made sure everyone got registered at the same time. So that, and again, with the older age students, it varied from building to building. Once we got to junior high age children, the athletic director for that building and also the PE instructor definitely on board with this, and he said, "Oh yeah, not a problem, we'll do this in PE." And he actually created his own Excel spreadsheet, and every day when he did roll call in PE, he asked each student, what have you done? And so they'd pull out their logs, or they knew what they had done for activity and nutrition. And again, in the high school, it was a little bit different. There they again used primarily roll call, and I think they did use the posters for the kids to track some of their activity, but again, it's primarily with the attendance call that they did that. Let's see. In our district, we had over 2,000 students participate, which was phenomenal. That was about 10% of our county right there. So we felt, very pleased with that, and the kids knew that they were doing a good thing in getting involved, and also getting their families involved. One of the things that we also developed for the K-3 students, which I had mentioned to John, is just simply when you get some of the materials, you look at them, you try to determine what will work and won't work. So you want to be flexible. And if something isn't going to work for a classroom teacher or whomever your team captain is, help them develop the tools that they need to work for their kids. And so with our younger students, we simply developed a log that had 5 days of the week, and I'll show the log, and you don't want to, simply had 5 days of the week, and we did a picture of someone running, and so the kids could keep track of their recess and in 15-minute increments and circle how much they had done for the day. And then also we showed a picture of fruit when that was the focus for that particular week. And that worked out very well. And then at the end of the week, the students simply handed these in to their classroom teacher, and the teacher tabulated that information. And the other piece of this that was very interesting is the community was aware what we were doing, not only from the community standpoint, but also from their kids. And we had a lot of great feedback from both parents and grandparents. Just stories that really surprised me and amazed me. I work out at the YMCA, and somebody was telling me that they had a class with a mother and a school-age child. And so the little girl was so surprised, that her mom was going to the Y to work out, and she said, "What are we doing here?" And she said, "Honey," she said, "I want to be healthy and get healthy like you." And she said, "We're going to do this together." And we had that happen just time and time again, that people would talk to me about what a change this has made in their home life. And instead of, after dinner camping out in front of the TV, they'd go for a walk. Or maybe they'd go and do something, different activity in a different town, just to get out and do something instead of just sitting in front of the television. So just a lot of neat things. People shopping more in the produce section at the grocery store because the kids were aware that they needed to get so many servings of fruits and vegetables each day. And so again, parents telling me the same thing. "Oh my gosh, we've never eaten so many fruits and vegetables in our lives." And that's what it's all about, is just getting people used to trying different things, new things, and pretty soon it becomes a habit. So we were very pleased to get that kind of feedback from people. As far as the team captains from the school aspect, again, kind of depends upon the age of child that you might be working with. I think for the younger students, it worked well in our district to have the classroom teachers doing it. Again, they had a large poster on the wall that the kids could track their activity, and then at the end of each week or each month, maybe the teacher would tally the time, or she would have students involved in doing that. And again, for the younger age students, we had those logs that we made up that the teachers really appreciated us doing that, and it just took us a few minutes to do it, but it was a lifesaver for them. So again, team captain can kind of be different building by building how you want to do that. So either a classroom teacher, possibly a PE teacher for you. And I was, as far as my position as the nurse, I was actually captain for a lot of adult teams. That was the other positive spin from this, is because the kids were involved. We had, I think, 7 or 8 adult teams within our district alone, and I think both the other districts in Appanoose County had several adult teams. And that's what made it fun. And we even had teams that weren't interested necessarily in losing weight, because we had all met those goals previously, and so we were looking at activity. And it was still fun, because even though we weren't looking at pounds, we were keeping track of, how much exercising are we doing. We contact our teammates, oh, hey, I haven't seen you, that you've gotten on there, please make sure that you're still working out and taking credit for it. So that's a big deal, you can really help cheer each other on with that. One of the things that I liked that I really didn't realize that they were doing is that, at least I know with the younger age students and the classroom teachers, those captains would be sent incentive items. I don't know if it was necessarily monthly, but at different points they would receive incentive items to share with the kids, and the kids loved it. I mean, it would be a beach ball or a keychain, just all sorts of things that, from my aspect as kind of being the captain, I didn't realize all that was happening. So that really helped spur the kids on and get them going with that. One of the things I would just want to emphasize with you is don't be afraid to do this. I mean, I remember the first meeting I went to last year when, John was encouraging everyone and saying, let's get people on board. And, I was all fired up, and I said, what? I said, I think my administrators will be behind this. And when I walked out of the meeting, I was kind of nervous, and I said, wow. I said, I think our administrators are going to be behind this. Is this actually going to work? And it did. Our administrators were behind it, and actually it was our superintendent who first mentioned, this whole process to me back in September and presented me with the Healthiest State Initiative. And so that's how we got on board with it. And so at that point, after meeting with John initially, I went ahead and met with our administrators, talked with them a little bit more about the program, assured them, that this was a good thing for our district to do. Certainly wellness is huge. Every school district has, a wellness policy, and so this fits in nicely with that. And from there, again, you'd have to tailor it to what your needs are for each particular building and each particular teacher. It seemed like it was going to be a huge process, and I was a little bit nervous to take it on, but it just started to roll. People got excited with it, and I got a lot of good ideas from classroom teachers. Once we got going, I even got great websites that they would, email me about, and then I'd share that with the entire, district. Hey, go look at this and look at that. Some different things you can do in the classroom, and I mean, that was the fun of it, because again, we were truly a team, because we worked together, and if anyone had an issue they were having, we worked through that, and it ended up being a lot of fun for everybody, and I think we learned a lot along the way.